evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and big up to everyone watching on playback. Hope everyone's well. Welcome to episode 4, is it? Of To Dare Is to Debate.
Ooh,
4,
yeah. 4, yeah.
Yeah, wow, I can't believe I got that right. Hope everyone's good. I am joined as always by Mia from Spurs Between the Lines, whose link is pinned to the top of my chat because this is a dual stream. So if you're in my room, please head over to Spurs Between the Lines and hit the like and subscribe, and vice versa. If you're in Mia's, head over to Just a Girl Loves Spurs and like and subscribe. So, Mia, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Busy. It's always busy this time of year, isn't it? So we've got lots of games coming up as well. It just seems like they're coming thick and fast. I can't keep up.
I know. It's good though. It's all good. Elly, are you okay? Did you have a nice day Christmas shopping?
Yeah, I've done some shopping and I've got some cake. Oh, I've eaten it all and I feel fat now. So tomorrow I'm on the porridge. I have
Why
to.
on the porridge?
Low calorie.
Oh, okay.
Calorie porridge.
Okay.
And tomatoes.
Fair enough. Just before we crack on with our guests, I will ask ladies just again, Mia, what did you make of the match on Sunday? Big up to everyone in the chat, by the way. Just give us your quick thoughts before we bring our lovely guests on.
Yeah. A great result for us. I think that we can definitely be happy with that, considering we've had so many injuries, and the key players are our defence, and they were out. Our key player of Madison's out, and he's our biggest assister, and he was out. So that obviously bodes well for us that we managed to do that and play how Ange wanted us to play. So yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon with that result.
Yep, couldn't agree more. Elly?
Yeah, I agree with what Mia just said. Plus, I think they're all getting used to Ange Postecoglou's style of football. I think it showed a lot in that second half, and in the game against Villa, the movement was fantastic in both games, in different halves really. But they're grasping it. Even players like Steve Davies at the back, you know, he's an old school defender, but he's slowly coming around, you know. So it all bodes well for the future, doesn't it, ladies? Come on.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. So without further ado, we will bring on our 2 absolutely gorgeous guests tonight, 2 hunks of the YouTube community. We have got Mr. Colin and Mr. Jose from Talk and Ball. Welcome to you both.
Good evening, ladies.
Good evening. Jose, first of all, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good. I had a shower. I've had a shave just because I knew I was coming on. I've combed my hair. I've actually. Yeah,
he just has to outdo me. He just has to outdo me everywhere we go.
I said it on my show though. On my show earlier on, I said I'm going to get ready for tonight. I'm going to get myself ready.
He's ready for ladies. He's ready for the ladies, isn't he? That's it.
Yeah,
I have my Death Row Records T-shirt on, and my beard is looking good. So I'm ready. I'm ready to party as well.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear. We do like it when people, you know, dress up and make an effort, have a shower. You know, we feel very special when things like this come to light. So thank you very much.
Yes.
Jose, I'm going to come to you first, and I've got to swap you round.
Oh yeah,
it's confusing, Ben. It needs to be. It's like Ant and Dec, isn't it?
Yeah.
Colin and Jose.
Bit of OCD.
Yeah. So, Colin, I'll go to you first, as it's in that order, and because obviously I haven't really spoke to you since Sunday. What did you make of the game on Sunday afternoon against City?
It was really nice. I mean, nice in the fact that it seemed like, although we were shorthanded, we made a concerted effort to play Ange ball. We played out from the back even when it was tough. Things got a little bit shaky at times, but we were able to, to nab a point while doing it Ange's way, and I think that's the way forward. I think a couple more of these strung together, and we're looking good. And I don't know. I was incredibly happy. I wasn't even really that surprised. Were any of you guys like, all right, time to get that winning goal? Like, I was like, all right, 5 minutes left. I was seriously thinking it might be possible. So I was really happy. I had a buddy of mine watch it as his first Spurs match, so it was a good one to introduce him to the ups and downs of Tottenham. And proud of the defenders. Yeah.
Excellent. And Jose, what did you make of it?
What the game itself?
Yeah, the game. Just your thoughts.
I thought Man City were on fire in the first half. Man City were on fire, and Man City were Man City, and as Ange Postecoglou said, we hung in there in the first half, didn't we? We really hung in there. And excuse my dog. Right,
he wants his 6 Pennyworth.
Yeah, he wants. I don't know what he wants to eat, but he wants something. So yeah, we hung in there, and from hanging in there, apart from the EBGBs from playing the ball out from the back, the goalkeeper and Emerson Royale and getting the EBGBs from him, I thought everyone else was playing really well. He made a master stroke at half time. He changed the system around without compromising the attack, so he's still playing attacking football. And in the second half, we dominated and we played really, really well in the second half. And we do something that clubs don't often do at Etihad, and that's go at them. And that's what we did. Postecoglou said all along he was going to do it. I wasn't, when we were 3-2 down and whatever, I wasn't like hiding behind the sofa with me hands over my eyes like I was in the Conte days. And as I said earlier on my stream, when we scored the equaliser, my first thought, come on, let's go and get another one. And as soon as I said that, I went, no, shut up shop.
I know what you're saying.
So a lot of the players, I mean, it's adversity for us at the moment, and a lot of the players that are much maligned or have not been playing, and they've come in and they've gelled, and they look like a unit. They want to play for each other. They want to play together. They want to fight for each other, and that's really good to see. Now, if we can play football like this, right, and if we can still grind out some results, and I'm talking grind out results until we get other players back, because let's not kid ourselves. Madison and Van der Ven are walking into the team as soon as they come back from injury. But if we can still continue picking up points and be in a good position, then what a way to welcome your players back in, because all players want to play in a winning system. So so that's what I'm looking forward to. So I was really pleased.
Yeah, I think that's how we all feel, really. There's a lot of positives to take from it. I mean, I expected us to get our bottoms spanked.
Of course you did. Of course you did, Kate.
I did. I do expect us to beat West Ham, though, but obviously we'll talk about that later. But yeah, at the end of the day, we were going to the best team in the world at their place with a second-string team. Not many people, I don't think, really thought we'd go there and get anything from that game. I know Jim did, but Jim thinks we can beat anyone. So the next point was, I'll start with Mia with this. Was Postecoglou naive with his tactics versus City?
No, because I don't know if you did end up watching it. I sent you a video this morning. I thought that was a really good analysis of actually what Postecoglou did. So although he stuck to his principles with playing out from the back, in that second half, what he actually did was to bring Højbjerg on to basically help out with us coming out and playing out from the back. And because they didn't want to commit another player, that meant that it was easier for us to play out from the back because of that extra player. And then they also was leaving space for us, because if we could get through, they obviously still had a lot of men trying to do the one-to-one man marking. So that meant they did still leave us space. And that's how we managed to get through a couple of times. And also, they looked like they were backing off of us because they weren't willing to put that extra person in to, obviously be in their half of the pitch, because they knew it would be extremely dangerous. So he did actually tweak it, and that was actually a really good video to watch to kind of explain it.
It was. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's on 442, and it's called how Tottenham were genius in coming back against City or something like that. And it breaks it down, and it is a really interesting video. I think that guy actually does some fantastic videos. I'm going to big him up because some of the stuff he does is brilliant. But yeah, I thought me and Jim watched it this afternoon. I thought it was really well put together.
Yeah, it was. And it explained well. And it explained it well, because a lot of people were saying, even when you had Carragher and and Neville talking. They're like, "Oh no, he shouldn't do this. Oh no, he shouldn't do it." And then all of a sudden we were breaking, and they're like, "Oh, okay, they've got a chance." That's why he
they
does
shut up
it.
quick. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, I have to say to Kevin, to Carragher and Neville, is what I say to those guys.
Yeah, and me.
Yeah.
Ellie,
Both of them.
what do you think? Do you think Postecoglou was a bit naive with his tactics?
No, but I want that bit clipped where Mia said that Højbjerg made a difference. I'm gonna get you, little Mia.
I think he did a job. He did a job because of what Postecoglou wanted him to do. Basically, he came in and done what he was asked to do,
and he done it very well. I must admit, he surprised me as well, because other games that he's come on, he's played well, but he hasn't played that well. And I thought he made a big difference. But not only that, it's not just Højbjerg, it's the whole team. The whole team, it's like they got a new lease of life in that second half. It's like, right, we're down 2-1, right? They tired as well, which helped us, because they high pressed us so much. They're not as good as high pressing as the previous City teams, and they don't do it for longevity. So they gave us a loophole to get back into the game. But bringing on those that extra midfielder and releasing Kulu and Johnson, because Johnson was given a free rein on that right-hand side as well, and he came more into the forefront. Even with the cross that he did to Kulu was superb, right? But we just got a grip on the game, and it was like they had a bit of a mojo, or the team talk at half time lifted them, because I heard him say that you can let the fans down, you can let me down, but don't let yourselves down. And I really believe in that. Don't let yourself down. Go on the pitch and give the best of what you've got. Davis, Royal, we know that they're not the best footballers, right? But they group together, and even with Emerson, he was a bit laxy-daisy with the ball, I must admit, but he made up for it in other areas, because he helped out Porro and he done his bit in the middle, at corners, because we were being peppered in the first half by corners, and we done very well. But I thought in general, we played so well in that second half. The first half we got to forget, because that was all City. Yeah. But I thought our spirit shone through, and I was so proud of them at the end. So proud of that Spurs team, to go to City and get a draw, and we could have nicked it as well. I know they could have nicked it with Grealish if the referee had been wiser, but I just thought we deserved the draw. We didn't deserve the win, but we deserved the draw.
Big up Ash. Sorry, I just put in chat that we would like her to come on our show in January, and she would love to. So she's been added on the list as well.
Nice.
Sorry to break up the conversation there. Big up Ash, and big up everyone that's coming. Bobby K, Steve D, all the usual suspects, and any unusual suspects. You're all welcome.
Colin, I've got a feeling that your mum's made the list as well, mate.
She might be.
Yes,
she might be.
Definitely, we've got to get her on 100%.
Yeah.
Ladies.
She would truly love it. Yep.
Yeah. Julie.
What do you feel about that question, Colin, about Ange being criticised quite openly, quite often, about being naive?
Yeah, you put somebody's comment up earlier. Let me see if I can scroll back and see it. But
Nick De La Tour or something. You said about
how we're naive for thinking that a guy with over 30 years of managerial experience is naive, and how we all need to kind of just behave. Yeah, and I agree with that completely. It was never gonna. We're ahead of schedule with Ange. We weren't really expected to be in this spot. I'm glad we are, but a lot of people didn't expect us to be, and maybe even Ange himself and the Tottenham board. But he doesn't like to put limits on things, which is what he has said in interviews. But no, I don't think he was naive. I think he's brave. I think he's showing traits of a manager who plans to be here long term, which is good. He's willing to maybe sacrifice a result here and there. Not sacrifice, but to lose points to make sure the team is learning his style no matter what, and that eventually that style and that type of play will carry over and and win us those points back. If not that season, then in future seasons. We saw though that it worked really well. The whole time, like all the press conferences going into the match, Postecoglou saying, he's excited. Yeah, we're depleted, but he's excited, and I think that was a good sign. And I think we all as fans should have been and need to be excited for this type of stuff too, because we now have a team that likes to fight. They've shown that they can all come together and like there's a common vision. And so even when you're missing a couple pieces, if the vision is still the same and the pieces you're replacing them with aren't complete trash, you can have a couple of people out of the squad and still function. And I think with a good system, that's what you get. We're starting to see that. It's just now coming together, but I think this was a really good sign of what's to come. And this is the reason why Postecoglou doesn't change his system to suit certain matches, because at its best, it can win against anybody. You scored 6, we'll score 7, but I thought it was a great match. Great match.
Yeah. And I was going to say Colin then. Just to say, I can't ever say his name. Hwang Hee-chan has scored 1-0 to Wolves at the moment.
Okay.
Jose, what do you make of these comments about Postecoglou being naive? I mean, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that a lot of it's like anything where we seem to be governed by social media in a lot of this world, and so people watch television, and the commentators have got to earn a living, didn't they? And the commentators say, "Oh, it's all naive defending." Then because people haven't got their own brains to think for themselves, they jump on the bandwagon. It's the same as your Twitter warriors and people like that. They say things, and then people that haven't got their own opinion or can't form their own opinion tend to just follow, and they follow a narrative that's not really there. So to me, I mean, I heard what everyone was commenting within the YouTube community after the Chelsea game, and a lot of us, and I will say a lot of us, were saying it was genius. We were saying it was genius, and there were some people saying, "Are you mad or what? You can't, it's suicide, blah, blah." And then in the cold light of day, people that thought it was lunacy and madness, in the cold light of day, 24 hours later, were saying, "Do you know what? I've actually reviewed the game back and I've rethought my thoughts." It was absolute genius what he did. So, at the end of the day, I just think there's a lot of people out there that just say what they want to see, they spout what they want to spout, and they've got a lot of followers, and people don't think for themselves and follow it. The one thing we all know as Spurs supporters, and I'm hoping now that the wider footballing fraternity are getting used to, is that Postecoglou, when he gets interviewed, says the same on rinse and repeat, same things over and over again. He says what he's going to do. He says how he wants his teams to play, and he goes ahead and does it. So, at the end of the day, I don't believe that he's naive at all. Never have done, and I never will do.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just touch briefly on it, is I think it's frustrating when you heard at half-time the likes of Roy Keane slagging us off, saying that he's naive and he's this and he's that, and then at full-time they can't wait to sort of kiss his backside. I think it's very disingenuous. He's already said he's not going to change, and I think people are going to have to be a little bit patient. The real ones that wanted Postecoglou in are the ones that are crying that he isn't flexible, and yet if they knew anything about Postecoglou, they'd know that this is just what he does. This is how he is. He's always been the same. So as Nick said, to say after 30 years of management or in the game that he's naive, I think is totally insulting, and purely because he hasn't won in Europe. I think that's why that people are saying it. Had he have managed a European club and been successful, no one would have said a word. So I just say, let's sit back and watch him cook, because I can certainly see what he's doing, and I'm excited.
We got some great chefs at the club, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's exactly what Jose said, is that what happens is one person says a narrative, and then if it's a big enough person, that gets repeated again, like it is the gospel truth. And that's what happens, I found. Like, I've heard a few things, I think, I know where that originated from. That originated from that person saying it. Like, I'll tell you what, a really good example. Somebody said, without Harry Kane, we would have been 15th, right? Or something stupid like that. And that narrative got pushed out and pushed out and pushed out till everyone was repeating. I was going, hold on, we wouldn't be playing with one less player. So you don't know what might have happened if we didn't have Harry Kane. We would have had another player surely in his place. So you can't exactly say, that's not an exact science to say one player's out, so therefore we'd be 15.
Exactly.
That makes sense, right? So
I hate that. I hate that so much.
So illogical, though, Colin. And I was arguing with people about it. I was like, but it's illogical. And people were like, no.
You don't think you don't think anyone's going to take up the positions he was in? There's just going to be nobody there.
Exactly. So
we're
exactly,
going to play with no striker. People are so dumb.
But because people spread that narrative on Twitter, then I heard it everywhere, absolutely everywhere, and I was just like baffled by it. And that's what happened, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially if they're a follower of that person as well, and they just hang on to every single word they say because they haven't got their own minds, like Jose said. They just go along. They're like sheep. They follow. You know.
I mean, I touched on this subject. I don't know if anyone's got any other thoughts on these pundits suggesting that he needs to change how he plays.
But he did make a substitution in the against City at half time. He tweaked it, but he didn't forego his philosophy by the tweak. The tweak was done in order for us to, as we said, to gain more possession, get out quicker and stuff like that. And he made the tweak without compromising on what he wants to do. So
exactly.
If that's not being tactically aware, then what is it?
And that sub was so good. That sub was so good. We just needed strength in that midfield. And
you know what else? I'll compare it again to my analogy with the piano. All it was we were playing the piano the same way, but it just needed tuning. Once you find tuning, it plays well again. You're still going to play the piano, aren't you? You're still going to play it the same way. You're not going to change how you play it, but you just got to tweak it to make sure it sounds good.
Yeah. And also what he saw is that Basuma was having a mare. So what he did, he put Højbjerg in there as another body to receive the ball from the defence to get it to the forward line, and it worked. It
took
worked.
Some pressure off took some pressure off Basuma.
Because believe it or not,
and off of Royale as well, because Royale had that pressure, and because people were passing to him and there was nobody there, he then started to get a bit panicky to who to pass it to. But if people were showing for the ball and saying, you can pass to me, it's okay, he felt more confident doing it then. So that's what that kind of offered.
Yeah, and believe it or not, Højbjerg's passing stats are superb. They are brilliant, right? Everybody says he passes sideways and backwards. He doesn't. If you look at all of his stats, most of his passes are progressive, but the people that remember the ones that go sideways and backwards, really, when you haven't got an option to go forward, it's best to pass sideways, right? If you haven't got no one and you're going to lose the ball. So his ball retention is very good, right? And I think Postecoglou saw that. He usually gets it from Basuma, but Basuma was having a mare. Plus, he was getting marked quite heavily, Basuma, because they knew he was a danger. You see, when he lost the ball and they scored, there was 3 players on him. Yeah, so that's how much they respect the player, you know. So Postecoglou, big up to him for making that change.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I love. Well, I don't love him, but I really do like Brian Hill. But I just get so frustrated that he's just such a tiny little human that just can't fight and keep the ball. Do you know what I mean? I do, because I watched him do that little pirouette, which was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was a vital contribution, wasn't it, Kate? I mean, that got us our first goal.
Can't deny it.
You can't teach that, but he just needs to. I don't know what he needs. I think, Ellie, you need to get him and keep him for a couple of weeks and just feed him up some mac and cheese.
Colin, don't be starting that. No, he needs some good protein. He needs some meat in him. He needs to get stronger. Eat lots of chicken, some lamb. Do you know what I mean? Get him on a good diet, some steak. Yeah,
anabolic steroids. Yeah,
you should have taken him shopping today with you, Ellie.
Send him to Italy. They know how to dope their players up in Italy.
My child's monetized. So let's not be advertising that kind of thing, because I don't really want to get demonetized for promoting.
You're right. No, I'm true. Steroids are bad, illegal, and bad.
Absolutely.
You know what? There's a lot of little players who make it because
Yeah,
their
Modric.
low sense of gravity.
They got to
And
have those big tree trunk legs. He needs to.
Yeah, he just needs to toughen up the bottom of his body because it doesn't matter about the top, really. You can get away with that. But if you've got strong legs,
Get Musa
his legs
Dembele
are
to come. Have Musa
Yeah.
show him. Have Musa Dembele show him his leg routine. Remember how big that dude's legs were? Or
Yeah.
even
oh my God.
Yunus Kabul's legs were like this big. He was crazy. That dude was a
and
freaking brick
his
house.
legs are like that. Hill's legs are like that. Actually,
I
like
know.
that. Like they're
'cause
literally so skinny. I've got fatter legs than he has.
Because they liken him to what's his name? Bernardo Silva. But if you look at Bernardo Silva,
He's a
he's
strong
a small
guy.
guy, but his legs, they're powerful. And Modric is the same. His legs are powerful.
I tell you who had
Look
really
at
good
Brian Hill, and
legs.
his legs are like chicken legs.
That's who else had good legs. Lamella had really
Yeah.
good legs.
Oh,
that boy's
yeah.
And a
legs.
good
God, I
top, a
miss-
good upper body as well. Very
And
good.
Lamella will 2-foot somebody if they're being a prick. I miss that. We don't have anybody that'll go in and just. I would take him back just as a sacrificial
Richarlison
player. Like
would.
whenever we need to go in and get somebody, we could say, Lamella, go in. You're going to get a red card. You're going to get a red card. You're going to take
Romero,
out Matty Cash.
I don't know if anybody's
Romero
ever
would.
watched. I don't know if anyone's watched Stand By Me when they got the dog sick balls.
Yes.
That's what it'd be like. You'd be like, Lamella, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Though Matty Cash has got one coming. Lamella could do it.
I
I
like
think
when
actually-
he got sent off at Arsenal when he just went, get out of the way, go on.
Yeah.
I love. Remember when he got Martial kicked off for instigating a fight, and then Martial really didn't do anything, and Lamella didn't get in trouble.
Oh, no,
Yeah, I love it.
That was the ultimate con artist, wasn't it?
I absolutely love that.
But I think what you've got at the club at the moment, if you're going to talk about Hill, I'm going to talk about Hill. I'm going to talk about Lo Celso. All these players that have been maligned, they've been out on loan, and people that have been much maligned and stuff like that. Although they're professionals and they're high profiles in their countries because they play for their countries and everything. Every footballer wants to be loved. Every footballer wants to be pampered, cared for, and all that. And I think what we're doing at the club is we're doing all this at the moment, and that's why we're seeing the best of them. Hill would probably be slightly cheesed off that he got taken off at half time. However, I think in the grand scheme of things, he'll understand why he was taken off, and he'll go back on the training pitch, and he'll go again to try and get back into that first 11. And I think everybody at the club is doing that at the moment because everybody feels part of it. Everybody feels loved. So, and at the end of the day, we keep saying this, they're all going to play an important part. Sunday's match against Manchester City was the first of 4 games in like 12 days.
Yeah.
We're going to need our squad. Then we got an 8-day break, and then we play 3 times in 8 days again. So we're going to need our squad. So you want to keep everyone on side, and that's what we've currently got at the club. So everyone will try. Everyone will try.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Go on, Colin.
No. I was just gonna say, I know that all it takes is for a player to feel some love, to feel important, to feel valued, which is what Jose is saying. But I hope that if they do stay, they're fully for the badge, and not just doing a Adebayor and playing to get themselves a new contract or get in the shop window. We need players to be fully backing the project, but obviously Ange sees them a lot more often than us, and we'll know if they're fully in or not. And so he'll make the call. I'm sure he'll make the right one.
Ange ain't naive. Ange will know. Ange knows already who he wants and who's going. He's got this plan. Who's going to go? If anyone goes in the winter, who's going to go in the summer? He's got all this. He knows what he wants. So
Yeah.
But whilst we've got the players, even the players that he may not be relying on after next summer, because he wants to make changes, even though the players are still with us, he still wants 110 from them. And that's what he's creating. He's creating a squad there where everyone plays for each other. Everyone feels valued, and everyone wants to put in a shift when they put in the team. And the other thing is, everybody wants to be in the team. So
yeah. Ellie, I'm going to start with you on this one. Obviously, we saw Jamie Donnelly come on, albeit for just a few minutes. To me, that says that Ange is going to start trying him out in the first team. What do you think? Do you think it was just he wanted to give him a run out, or do you think he plans to use him more in the future?
The latter. I think he's a very talented boy, right? And he wants him to get that experience. And he gave him the 5 minutes because the game was more or less on a hiatus, wasn't it? It was going to be finishing 3-3. So I think he's going to feel really pleased with himself as well to get that far. He's only 18 and he's already broken into the first team, and he's been on a subs bench before. This isn't his first time. So Postecoglou's put him ahead of all the other subs. He had Santiago and Dorrington, and he's put on Donnelly. So that's going to give him a lot of encouragement. And I think, yeah, he will get his chance, but he'll probably get bit parts at first. All right, because we've got big players coming back, and it's going to be harder for him to break in. But it's a very good sign by Postecoglou, and I was so pleased for him. Young lad, 18 years old, wet behind the ears, but he's come on, and you know what? He deserves it because he's been playing out of this world. All right, so every day, every dog's got his day, right? So that's his first taste of first team football, and men's football is a lot different than what he's been doing. So let's see what he can do. If he gives him 10 minutes in the next game and 10 minutes, 20 minutes the next game, it'll be fantastic for the lad. And I'm so proud of him breaking into the first team already. Well done, Jamie, if you're watching.
Yeah. What do you think, Jose? Do you think that this is a sign that Angie's going to try him more in the first team, or do you think he just needs to give him a run out?
I think it's a good sign, Kate, in the sense that he's a young lad, and he was thrown in towards the end of the game, but he was thrown in to get some minutes. So he gets an appearance, so he feels appreciated by the club. Longer term view is that obviously this kid's coming through. We've had other kids that have been really good that have coming through, and we've lost them. We lost a kid last season, didn't we? It was meant to be Mustard in the under-21s last year. Can't remember the guy's name now, but he left our club, and everyone said that we didn't do enough to keep him. So I think this is part and parcel of a process of going forward to try and keep our best young uns. Now, whether they make it in the team or not, it's all about the money at the end of the day. Because if they don't make it, then you want to sell them on for a profit. A bit like the old Chelsea used to do Chelsea from a few years back. The younguns that didn't play, they got given a run out here and there, and then they got sold on for mega bucks. So if they're not going to make the team, they'll get sold on. They'll be in the shop window and they'll get sold on. But I think it's good that he actually got given a run out. What a place. You're given a run out. You made your debut at the European Champions House.
Yeah.
Steve D says, was his name Alan, Jose?
What, the guy from last year?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. He was a wide player, weren't he?
Yeah, it became.
He was a wide player. I'll tell you. I'll look it up. I'll tell you now. But we let him go last season. Everyone was talking about him. He's a wide player.
He's a black boy, isn't he? I think he begins with M. Emmy's name.
Mitchell.
No, he's got an unusual name, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Madueke?
No, not Madueke.
No, he's got another one.
He went much earlier.
Yeah, no, it's another guy.
I'll tell you now.
I saw him warming up last season with the first team. And then he left. I think he left for $5 million, I think.
No, he just didn't sign on. He didn't sign a new contract, did he?
Yeah, he didn't sign the new contract. No.
Yes, right.
He left.
Yeah.
Just an update.
Arsenal won
scored.
Yeah.
Come on,
Luton. And Joe was bad. Luton have not actually been playing that badly.
No.
They've not been playing that bad, actually.
Boo.
Oh, wow.
Colin, what do you make of Jamie Donnelly? Do you think we're seeing more of him, or indeed any youth players coming through now? Obviously, we've got January coming up where we're going to lose Bissouma, Sarr, and Sonny. So
true, that's a good point. I mean, it all depends on the January window, right? I think we'll see some more of him up until that point because, and I know there's probably only 2-3 more matches or something before that, but right now we're pretty skint up top. With with injuries to Solomon, with injuries to Richarlison, Madison, even though he's not exactly a forward player, but so we've had to borrow one of our other forward players, Decky, to come back and cover Madison. I mean, we're just light there right now. So Donnelly will definitely be on the bench for more matches, and hopefully that means he'll see more game time. But obviously, if we go and we buy an experienced player or somebody that's first team ready in January, that's going to set him back. I know there are other players where we could use, I think, the cover better. So maybe they won't, we won't get anyone. Maybe he will see more time this year. It all really depends on January for me, and how bad Levy panics about us not being in a Champions League spot, because as Jose has pointed out, Levy wants that Champions League spot. And if we're not there in January, and we probably, we might not be, he's gonna splash some cash to make sure we get there. And that could mean that Donnelly goes back to the bench. And I don't know enough about the fellow to say with any great, belief that I think he's good enough or not. So I'm interested to hear Jose's take on it.
Sorry, I'm looking. I was trying to find.
We're still trying to find the guy.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the guy. Sorry.
No apologies necessary.
I was just going to say it's encouraging to see, Ange is known for bringing through youth. I think it's encouraging. I know, Mia, you're always saying what a massive step up it is, which of course it is. So a few minutes here and there is going to do them good. It does concern me that come January, we're going to be even thinner on the ground. So I do think maybe we've got no choice but to try some of these youth players. I mean, what do you think, Mia?
Yeah, it might be a case of we have to, if we don't get anybody in to cover, because we know we are going to lose players. So, yeah, of course, we do have to think of that. And, yeah, minutes here and there, of course, is really, really good. That's what we want to see our players doing. Imagine the feeling for him coming on at Man City. That's huge. That's massive for him, being a young kid and coming on like that for such a huge game. So his adrenaline must have been going like second to none. It must have been like mad for him, all those fans, big stadium like that. It's a big thing for him, and I'm so pleased that he did get that chance. But again, we'll have to see what happens with the first team, because will he get the opportunities? It's about opportunities, isn't it? He has to prove himself and hopefully hope to get those opportunities every now and again to show that he's got what it takes. So I hope so for him. I do, because I want to see some of our youth come through, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's not very often we get many superstars come through our academy, is it really? Let's be fair. We're not one of these clubs that tend to produce these brilliant youths that we then sell for a fair bit of money. Our academy's been pretty crap recently, so I'm hoping this current batch we've got with the likes of Donnelly, Mikey Moore looks very good.
Lancia,
all these youngsters.
Santiago.
Yeah,
Noel John as well is another brilliant player.
He is. He's only really young as well, isn't he? And he looks fantastic. So. I mean, let's hope that we can bridge the gap a bit between the.
Sorry, who did the guy? Did someone in the chat say it begins with M?
I think it's Malachi.
No, it's Romain Mundle.
That's it, Romain Mundle. That's it.
Romain Mundle.
The guy. He left, didn't he?
Yeah, it's Romain Mundle, the guy that was meant to be tagged the next big thing, and we
Malachi Walcott.
And he left. It was under, weren't it? It was Romain Mundle.
Newsflash: Luton have equalised.
Yes.
Oh, get in, Luton.
It was a corner. It was from a corner. They're checking it. Please don't say it's being VAR'd. It's being VAR'd. No, it can't. It won't be. No, it won't. No, not at all, because the player there was no player offside. He was right, I just because they took their time. I was thinking, what's taking the time? Because obviously I haven't got the volume on.
Come on, Luton.
So, just for Ellie, right? Ellie, at half time, it's Scotland 0, England 4.
Go on, England.
But Netherlands are beating Belgium 1-0.
Okay.
But England have to get a better result. They have to beat the Netherlands score by 3 goals. They're currently doing it at the moment. So
they're currently doing it. Come on.
England have qualified.
Come on, England.
Come
Come on, England.
Come on.
Go on, Colin, my son. You get into it, boy.
Yes.
Hey.
Papa and Ricardo. Do.
Colin, I'm going to start with you on this one. Who would you play as centre back for the West Ham game? Are you sticking with Royale, Davis, Dyer? Where are you going?
Probably Davis, and that's just for experience. I think him and Royale are like equally not suited for the job. The whole team kind of came together and covered for each other and helped to with that deficiency versus the game versus City. But let's be honest, you guys. I mean, Holland had a bad day at the office. There were a couple of other opportunities where they on another day might have scored. And I think that, while we can kind of laud the defense and say, they did a good job, especially for, who they are, who we were playing against, they didn't do that good of a job. I think that out of the two, Davies probably would get a better match rating from me. And I trust him more back there just because, he's played as a center back, obviously in the 3 normally, but he's played as a center back before. He's got some more experience there, and I think with Romero kind of to help clean things up, he'll be in good hands. That's who I would start. It would be Romero and Davis for me.
And what about you, Jose?
Yeah, it would be Romero. Romero naturally is the right-footed centre half, so I wouldn't risk Emerson playing in the left side centre half.
So you'd have Davis.
I'd have to have Davis there. Davis would have to play there, and to be quite honest, in the last 2 games that we've played, for being fullbacks, because that's what they are, or they're either fullbacks or Davis is a centre half that plays in a back 3, or more used to playing in a back 3 than a back 2. I actually think Davis hasn't done that badly. I think Davis has put a shift in. Davis has probably played at the highest level. That's his ceiling. He's played really well the last 2 games. I don't think he can put in better performances than what he's done in the 2 because that's his ceiling. And yeah, I think he's got a higher ceiling playing there than what Emerson Royale's got.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say I'm in agreement with you both. I think Davis. I think Royale is still a better option than Dyer, but I think Davis is a better option than both. So for me, it'd be Davis and Romero. Mia, what about you?
Yeah, I think it would be Davies because as well, that's his more natural position, as in he has played for that in that position for Wales. So Royale, we're putting him in a completely a different position that he's used to. So I would have to go with the one that knows that probably slightly better. And I don't think he's been too bad at all. I know he's not quick, like Royale is slightly quicker. But I just don't think it's worth the risk. I think that we're better off having for now Ben Davies again with Romero personally.
Yeah, Ellie, same agreement.
Yeah, I've got to agree. Even though Emerson Royal, he gets a lot of stick. It's just not his natural position. He's very nervous on the ball when he's getting pressed. So I wouldn't want him there. We've got Udogie to clear up after him if he makes a mistake. But Davis has been playing well. And that against Wolves, he was immense. It was just unfortunate he couldn't get back to stop that Saliba from scoring. But, what he lacks in pace, he puts in effort, doesn't he, the lad? You can't question his commitment for the club, right? Nobody can question. They can question his technical ability. They can question sometimes he'll make a little gaff here and there and it will lead to a goal, but they can't question the commitment of the lad, and he's like a steady Eddie, isn't he?
He's but like I said, they've all helped us out, Ellie, haven't they? I mean, everyone's tried to put a shift in. Everybody has. And everyone knows that we're we haven't got players. We've lost players to suspension and injuries, and you can see the camaraderie. Them all coming together and trying to do a shift.
Cool.
And all Emerson's done for us as well is provided that bit of pace that we wouldn't have had Dyer played there. However, we've got the return in general coming back now. Mia's favourite, he's coming back, and he's the thing is he's deceptively quick as well, and he can move Romero. So, and I'm so happy because even with Romero coming back, ladies and Colin, it means we've got three of our magic back 4 back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
It's only
Absolutely.
good we've only got BDV missing, but
Yeah,
Davis is one of those players. You know what? He's more reliable than unreliable, whereas Dyer is more unreliable than reliable. So it's got to be Davies.
Dyer's exterminate.
What does everyone make of this comment from Chris Peters? Big up Chris. Says, with the pace at the back, are we missing Sanchez? For me, it's a no. Does anyone else think any different?
Him at all.
Do you know what? I can understand it because some people are saying, like, instead of having Dyer, if we would have had Sanchez as that option, would have that been slightly better? And big up to Leo as well. I think that's where people's probably their mindset is coming from, is that would have that been a better option than Dyer, I think.
Yeah, to me, it's just for his pace, because we played with the way we played in the other systems. He got found out, but playing a higher line, he wouldn't get found out as much. Plus, he's got pace to burn as well. So just for him to run back and put a tackle in, even if he kicked it off the pitch, it's just the recovery runs that he could make. He'd be more vital to us than what Dyer is. Dyer's no use to anybody. Dyer, you could give Dyer a set of fucking 10 keys and they'll fit the same lock. He'll put the keys in and he won't open the lock up.
It break the key. It try and turn it and break the bloody key in the door.
Yeah.
I've just seen that comment. You took it off quickly, but I saw the comment.
Yeah, I saw it. The thing is, I do criticise the players, right? Like, I've just criticised Dyer, right? But you know, with Sanchez, the reason I don't agree with that, he has got pace, but that's it. He makes so many errors, and he's so nervous on the ball. And his passing is atrocious. What's the point of having him? He's just like a Dyer without pace. That's how I see Sanchez. I don't see him any better defender.
Exactly.
The only thing he can do is he can recover because of his pace. But once he's there, he'll either trip over his own legs. That's why they called him Bambi. I think it was Dermot who called him Bambi.
It cost him. He paid £1 million near enough to get someone private in to coach him to play like Hakimi, right? And that was in a Conte system. Now we're not playing a Conte system. Is he going to pay another £1 million to learn how to play the Postecoglou system?
Oh, you know what?
That's £2 million down the drain. That's what I call that. They should have given it to us, shouldn't they? Stupid kids.
I've not once ever thought we miss Sanchez. Not even for a split second. I just no. Next one. I'll start this one off. As Kulu proved, he's a midfielder, not a winger. For me, been crying out for him to be a midfielder. I think he's a different player in midfield. I adore him in midfield. I don't know how it's going to work when Madders is back and Biss and Sarr and Bentancur, but I just don't think he suits being on the wing. I just like him in the midfield. He looks more dangerous. He's so powerful. So yeah, for me, I would never move him out of midfield. So I shall throw it over to Mia next. What do you think?
I think I've always been a fan of Kulu and been a bit on the fence. I understand why people criticise him as a winger, and obviously I do get it. But I always was a bit like, he's strong and I do really like him. But yeah, down in the middle, he is just on another level, because he isn't just doing the whole just going down, cutting back. Because he's in that middle, it gives him that bit more of a option. So he isn't just tied to doing one thing. So when he's down the middle, he just looks brilliant. He holds up the ball, and because he because like I say, the way he can pass, it just makes it a lot better. Like, he just plays a lot. It just looks more comfortable for him. I think he just looks more comfortable in that position, and he has been really, really good. And now we have got that option. If we get a winger in January to cover him, or also like to cover Johnson and Hill, so we've got a bit more options, and obviously Rich is back. Imagine our midfield. We've got so many options now. The Celso absolutely been brilliant. Kulu, Maddison, Basuma, Sarr, Like our midfield is just immense, and they say that's a lot of the time where you win and lose games in that midfield. And with someone like Kulu, who's strong and skillful, I think we have got one hell of a midfielder there.
Yeah, I agree. Ellie, what do you think?
Yeah, I like to add to that. Like, he's a cultured player. He's got vision. We saw it was Harry Kane-ish, wasn't it? That ball to Sonny, that was sublime. You know, it was perfectly weighted. He's got all the talent as well. He's got ability to hold the ball for us, not lose it. He nurtures the ball. He's very clever at moving the ball very quickly as well. Although he's not a fast player, he's got a fast brain. He thinks, he sees all the best players in the world, right? They've got a picture in their mind of what they're going to do before other players see it. And he's one of those players. But on the wing, you don't get all that, because what he'll do on the wing, he'll beat a player, right? And then invariably the player catches up with him because, you know, the defenders are fast. That's why they're there. They're speedy and they're athletic, right? So he's finding it difficult. And because he hasn't got so much of a right foot, he has to check back all the time. So being in the middle, he's got more time on the ball, right? Because midfield, you do get more time than when you're on the wing, and you're not marked so heavily either. And you can find pockets of space, which he's very clever at picking up. And because of his strength as well, his upper body strength, he's just suited to midfield. If he's not a midfielder, he should be a number 10 just behind the two strikers, you know? Like, if we bring back Madders and Madders takes up that role, he can still be utilised as a number 10, right? And I just think he reminds me of Chris Waddle a bit, you know, but without the pace.
Yeah.
But he's just suited. It makes sense. And I'm glad that Postecoglou has seen it, because we've been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks, haven't we? You know, I mean, every show I've been watching, they say put Kulu in the middle. But
you know why? You know what it is, Ellie? Ange is actually he actually watches this show. He messaged me and said
whenever he phones me, he phones me once a night, and he told me that he does watch the show.
Yeah,
I meant to mention that
that's what it is.
It is what it is, mate. Invite to his favourite Greek restaurant after the show.
What do you think, Colin? What's your thoughts with Kulu?
Agreed completely with everybody else that he really showed the things that make him a decent winger and make him a really, really good attacking midfielder. I think that if you put him, I honestly, I was saying on our show earlier, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Madison in an Eriksen-esque role where he's actually deployed on the wing, but to be like that creative player from the wing. You know what I mean?
Joe, what the one thing, sorry to interrupt you, Carl, but Joe, what he plays that for England, and I just don't think he looks very good there. When he plays that position for England, Gareth Southgate insists on putting him down like on one side, and he just doesn't look very good.
But Southgate is shit though, so maybe.
Yeah, but it's not that. It looks like Kate said. He looks trapped because he feels like he's someone who wants to just go. He's got a bit more of a freedom, because if you watch him, he actually does drift over to the side. He can go here, there, and everywhere. And to have that, you've got to be more of a midfielder, because you've got the ability. Because if you're doing it and you're a winger,
he'd have to have a free role with the.
But I think he can have a free role in the middle. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get more players involved. You know what I mean? I just want to see a midfield of Kulu, Basuma, and Bentancur with Madison up in the front three, with probably like a Johnson and a Son. I feel like that would be an incredibly balanced midfield and front three, and then you can pull in, you know, your normal your Pedro Porro providing the width and attacking on that right hand side. You know, Udogie on the left. It could be cool. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but it would be neat to see, at least in Ange's system, where things are a bit different than probably Southgate's. I'll admit to being sort of international football illiterate, but I think that would be something worth trying. I think that Madison's got a lot of the same he's got characteristics as Eriksen, and Eriksen does so well in that role. I think it would be really neat to see at least try it out. But to answer your original question, Kulu, definitely a midfielder. and I was kind of wary of it, honestly. I was like, well, no, he's a good enough winger. He's good there. I don't think he can play in the middle, and I've definitely been proven wrong. So,
well, Mason did play him as a number 10 just before he went, and Kulu looked better there straight away.
Yeah.
So, but like I say, it's competition. But yeah, 4-3-2-1. I suppose you could have Sonny up front on his own and have Johnson and Kulu, Johnson and Madders just behind. I don't know.
It would be sick. It would be cool.
It's interesting. Ange isn't afraid to try different things, so who knows?
Yeah, and Maddison's different to Kulu. He'll run all around the pitch. He's like Ericsson, right? Whereas Kulu, he can pick up the ball and pick out a pass from the back. Whereas Madders, he likes it more forward. But he will drop back if he has to, but he doesn't like to. He prefers to pick up the ball nearer to the goal, and then he can do a lot more damage. Yeah, because he's got a very good shot on him as well, Madders. Where Kulu can improve on that with his shooting. His shooting's not always on point. Yeah, so he can improve on that. I've seen him when he's been warming up, and he's fantastic. Then when it comes to the match, he does some powder puff shots sometimes. Kulu, he's got to improve that.
What do you think, Jose? Do you prefer Kulu on the wing or in the middle?
Kulu plays 10 for Sweden. Kulu played 10 for Juventus. Kulu did play what you said, Kate, when Mason gave him a game, some games up there. Me personally, I would play a box midfield, right? Because you can interchange your players. So I would play the 4 that we have at the back. The 2 next midfield, the 2 first midfielders I put into there would be, if they're fit, Benton, Corn, and Celso. And then my next 2, if in front of them 2, would be Madison and Kulu, and the 2 up front that can go anywhere along the line would be Johnson and Son. Because the interchanging, you've got
4-4-2.
Yeah.
Well, no, but playing a box 4 instead of a wide 4, playing a box 4, right?
Yeah.
Because really and truthfully, Benton could be your holding 6. If your wing backs are going to go into the pockets, then Benton doesn't have to hold 6 anymore. Benton can go further forward. The Celso is an 8. He's not a 10. The Celso's an 8. Although some people will argue 10, but I reckon he's an 8. And
I agree. I'll agree with you.
Madison and Kulu are both 10s. Why can't we play with 2 10s and have Sonny and Johnson with their pace running anywhere down the line? And if Johnson and Sonny go wider, right? Let's say they go wider to create space, then it creates space down the middle for Kulu and Madison to go in there. Do you see what I mean? So they become the 2 auxiliary forwards, so to speak. At the end of the day, Postecoglou, for whatever's happened, and for losing players through injury, through diversity of suspensions and that, he's got to look at a lot of players on the pitch a lot earlier than what he thought he would have done. And from there, he's got some good conundrums because he's got players that are playing for the badge. And with that being said, it only bodes well for us. But to me, I mean, it sounds stupid, but I remember when our dealers was our manager. our dealers would play a forward 6. And we'd have no one in midfield. Do you remember the days, Ellie?
Yes.
It'd be the attacking 6. And we had no midfield. It was just 6 attackers we had. And we'd win games 4-3 and stuff like that. Do you know what? I don't give 2 hoots if we let him free as long as we score 4 and we win the game. And that's what I'd like to see. And Postecoglou's brought that back. He's brought back attacking football, and he's brought back what we're known for doing and what we're known for and what our motto is. And at the moment, it might not be ideal, the squad that he's got at the moment. But boy, within that squad, we've got some players that can attack.
Guys, I hate to bring you some bad news, but Arsenal just scored.
I saw your face.
I thought so.
I saw your face drop.
Jose
scored.
well, on a good note,
I'll come back.
On a good note, Jose, you seem like a very well-spoken guy when it comes to your football knowledge. Are you part of the football collective by any chance that does?
Nah, the ladies don't let me into that gang.
I was wondering if you had if you were on a channel.
The football collective.
We'll get to that, Colin. Don't worry. We'll let you plug your channel later. Don't what that mean.
I was trying
to
sneak an extra plug in there.
Don't try to listen. If you push your luck, you'll be out of it. That's a yellow card.
Oh, come on, ref, please. Come on. No.
Mia will whip out that red card, I'm telling you.
Yeah, she will.
I will.
Obviously, sticking on the same sort of subject, who starts in midfield for West Ham? Who wants to go first?
Jose, make Jose go first.
Oh, no,
Go on, Jose.
Shit, they're down on parity. Holland are now 2-0 up, but England are 5-0 up. So they're still maintaining the 3 goals they need.
Yes, come on.
Although there's a long way to go, there's still over half an hour to go.
Come on, England.
Sorry,
Get another one.
the question was, who would I play in midfield?
Yes,
That's correct. Yeah.
for West Ham.
What, with all the players being, what if I'm thinking that apart from Maddison being out injured, everyone else is fit? So am I including Sarr being fit?
Well, there's rumours Sarr will be back, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think it's been
We don't know
confirmed.
100%. Yeah.
Just take it that Sarr is fit.
I'd go in with Bissouma, Lo Celso, and Kulusevski again.
Yeah.
I'd go in with the 3. All I'd hope with going in with them 3, all I would hope is that Biss finds and reignites himself, man, because I've just felt that for about, I'd say for a good 6 games, 7 games possibly, he's not been firing. I'd like him to fire again. If he fires, it makes the game easier for us if he can fire again. Because if you've got the other 2, if you've got Lo Celso and Kulu at it, and your forwards are at it, we've got 3 of our back 4 back. So it's the first time we can say we've got 3 back. It's only Mickey that's missing. It means we're more like ourselves. Okay, Madison's a big loss as well, but we're more like ourselves. So, yeah, I'd go with the 3 that started the last game, to be honest. I would probably play the same system against West Ham. I don't know whether Richie gets in for Hill. I'm not sure.
No.
But I'd like to play the same system. The other thing I would say is against Villa, we could have been 4-0 up in the first 20 minutes had we finished our dinner, as Mia would say. It's all about the dinner eaters here, isn't it? So, so we could have been 4-0 up against them in the first 20 minutes. Then we ended up losing that game 2-1. Had 18 chances, 8 on target, fit the crossbar twice. The goalkeeper's made 6 saves, all stuff like that. And then against Man City, we created less chances, but we scored more goals. If we had a mixture of both of them types of things, then we could end up having an easy night against West Ham. If we can run them ragged early on, I can see a really good night for us.
And Joe was crazy. What I actually said before the City game, I said we need to be clinical with our chances because unlike what we were with Aston Villa, I did say on my preview, I said we need to be clinical. We have to finish those chances. We're not going to get those opportunities or a lot of those, so we have to be clinical. And that we were definitely much more clinical. But for me, I would stick with the same 3. I would stick with Kulu, Lo Celso and a Bissouma. And if Bissouma's not doing too well, if Sarr's okay, you can swap him out and put Sarr.
Hotspur is dropping Bissouma and sticking Højbjerg in his place.
That's
controversial.
Not too controversial. I mean, I get it. We did look a lot more solid.
Biss has been off the ball for ages, and I keep saying he's been off the ball for ages. And
I think you got to play him in the form though.
Do you know what? The reason we had Højbjerg come on is to help with us pushing out from the back. We won't need that with West Ham because West Ham won't press us because they play on the counter. So we don't need someone like Højbjerg. We need someone more creative and somebody who's going to have legs because it's going to be more of we need to break them down. So Højbjerg would be suitable for this game particularly because they're not going to be a high pressing team. That's why I would not start Højbjerg.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Mia and Jose. I'd stick with the 3, even if Sarr's fit. I'd stick with that 3. I don't know what Colin and Elly think, whether you'd do anything different or whether you'd stick with Kulu, Biss, and Lo Celso.
I'd probably move Sarr in as well, and then if the game needs tightened up, you take Sarr out for either Bissouma or why can't it Højbjerg?
So you're dropping Bissouma.
I'm dropping Basuma. Yeah. So,
Wow.
but he can come in, or Horbier can come in if your game calls for it. If our midfield looks like it's being overrun, it's a little light of a midfield what I just proposed, but I think that it could do the job against West Ham. I mean, shit, guys, it's West Ham. Language, sorry. I mean, shoot, guys, it's West Ham.
What about you, Ellie? What do you think of that?
I always think don't kick a man when he's down, right? So I would play Basuma. And I'll give him encouragement to go out and prove. We all know he's a fantastic player. There's no doubt about that. He's just got a drop of form. Since he got sent off at Luton, and even a little bit before that, he wasn't putting in the total performances that we're used to, right? And we know that there's a player, there's definitely a player there, right? He hasn't lost his skill. He's just lost a bit of his mojo, and he just needs to get that back. And I think he's got a point to prove as well, right? And I saw him at the end when Sonny was cuddling him, you know, and giving him words of encouragement in his ear. And he's like that. You need to put her arm round Basuma. And you see him when he's like larking about and he's full of joy when we've won, right? I think it'll be a bad kick in the teeth if we drop him now. And it might go against him. But I think, yeah, I'd play Basuma, Gio and Kulu in the middle, 100%.
Yeah, see, Mark Changor said earlier, Basuma's not a starting midfielder to play week in, week out for a team going for a title. We will progress further with him as a squad player. See, I don't agree with that. I just think Biss is missing the partnership with Madders massively because those two have got an epic partnership. Biss feeds Madders and Madders does the magic. So I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't know about anyone else. I think that's a bit harsh.
But for me, the best pairing in midfield for me is, if they're fit, is Benson, Core and Celso. The 27 minutes they played together against Aston Villa was the best two midfield display for me in the whole of the season for the first 27 minutes. Them two were on, and I was saying this earlier on our channel, that South Americans hate each other with a passion. If they were playing an international match, they would tear into each other and try to break each other's legs. However, playing together, there's a mutual respect there, and they both understand each other's game. And they both, for the 27 minutes against Villa, they were absolutely amazing, them two. Add Maddison into the mix as well. Bloody hell.
Isn't that a lovely headache to have, that we're now thinking
but this is what I said earlier.
In our midfield, because we've got our midfield is going to be so strong with everybody back that it's going to be a bit of a madness, but that's what we want, because
that's what we want.
See, because when we have got those tired legs, because we're pressing and we're pressing hard, we need to have those players to be able to come on. So what a bloody great problem to have, right? What a nice
That's why I said exactly what I said earlier.
Yeah,
right.
He's going to give Postecoglou a big headache, isn't it? Who to choose?
Do you know, actually, the way that Pep plays more of a box four in the middle, but I don't know. We'll see if he does. If he would be like willing to change it. I don't know if he would change it, but I definitely think we've got a good headache to have, because we can then change it. I think we can choose between them. We can mix it up depending on who we're playing as well, depending on the opponent. If we need more techie players, if we need a bit more of a stronger defense, a bit more not defensive but a bit stronger, we can maybe put Kulu in the middle because he's stronger, you know. So it ain't a bad thing, really.
Thing is, as well, it's easy to say Benson, Kerr, Lo Celso the best pairing. We haven't seen Benson, Kerr and Maddison yet, and I think that's going to just be off the scale.
But Maddison plays 10. What I'm saying is two together. Maddison will always be up there. But I'm saying the two that play in the holding or the 6 and 8 roles together, right? The best two in them positions for a pairing that I've seen football wise and playing football was them two for 27 minutes against Villa. I thought they were absolutely, no one could get near them. They were playing, moving. No one could get near them. No one could get the ball off them. No one could get near them. But Maddison will always be in there. Maddison's always going to play.
I think it'll be Maddison, Basuma, and Benny. I think that probably too. Because I think that's more balanced. Because depending, like again, who we're playing, I think it's more balanced than to have Lo Celso and Benny and Maddison.
You can have them all, though. You could.
We can. It depends on the game, though, Ellie. It depends on the kind of game. If we're going to be pressed or not, we might need someone who, like I say, like a Kulu, who is stronger, who can hold the ball up. So just depending on the opponent.
Yeah.
And then
It's a
you've
good
got
headache to
Saar,
have.
who's
We're
got the
agreed. It's a
legs.
good headache to have for
Yeah.
us. That
100%.
we've actually got squad players, everyone wanting to play, everyone fighting for places, and that everyone's united and knows what we want to do and we want to go forward with. That's what we want, and that's what we're seeing.
That's
Ronnie,
a big call.
Ronnie, I think you're very.
I think
you're a bit that way.
he's putting it out there now. Saar is better than Basuma. They're different.
They're different players.
They're different
They're
players.
different.
They're different players, and you can't compare them because Saar he's got the legs, he's got the engine. He's not as cultured as Basuma, but he's still young. He's still learning the game. He's only 21, isn't he? So, you know, he's got a lot to learn in the game, Saar. But what we've seen of him so far, I've been very impressed myself. I do like him as a player.
I think we miss him.
And he'll
I think we
fight
do.
for every ball.
Yeah, because with Saar was everywhere on the pitch, and I think people underestimated.
Yeah.
And now that we've got him, I think we actually do miss him in some games. You know, that engine, because he can get back as well. Because not only can he go, he can get back with like literally about 3 steps. Because the boy's got the longest legs.
He's got the longest legs in football. Yeah, like when we played Fulham, Mia, do you remember when he got back and he headed that ball?
Yeah. It's just like, where did he
That's
come from?
determination.
Do you know what
and
that's like?
athleticism.
Yeah, because sometimes he comes out of nowhere. You're like, where did he come from?
It's like when he scored against Man United as well. He came from nowhere.
He was brilliant against Man United. That second half, that was brilliant from Saar. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Can I just say to you, Kate, if scores were to remain as they are now, you'd be the only one that's got 2 correct predictions so far in the first 2 games. But there's 10 minutes to go in the first game. It's half time in the second game. But you currently sit on both the correct predictions at the moment.
Is that Kate? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ash says, do you think because of their low mid block, it might make sense to put Richie in the middle and Sonny on the left? I think Sonny should be 9. For me, I'd never, ever move Sonny now out of the middle. I don't know about anyone else.
No, I wouldn't. Do you know what I would say though? Maybe because they have got that bit more strength, they're a bit more boisterous, West Ham, to maybe put Richie to start if he's fit enough. Because I don't know if he can't really handle it. So
yeah, I agree
like
with that.
That's the problem because they're quite a tough bunch, West Ham, and they don't give a damn. I feel that he's going to get knocked over a lot.
They've got Souček and Kufal are a big song.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So do you play Sonny in the middle or Richie in the middle in this situation?
I play Sonny in the middle and play Richie on the wing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and then play Johnson on the right.
Yeah,
100%.
definitely.
Play Kulu in that pocket as a number 10, and then Gio and Basuma behind him.
If you match up the 2 teams against each other, we should have the beating of them. We should have on form and on the way the team's set up. We should have the beating of West Ham. And we're at home.
They've got Parketta, who's very technical, brilliant player. And then they've got Bowen, who scores. He scores nearly every game.
Yeah, but Watkins,
I know he doesn't, but
Watkins and Diaby were going to destroy us, and Haaland was going to destroy us. And if we kept thinking like that, right, then we won't go out and win games.
No, I'm not thinking like that. I'm not thinking like that. I'm just saying that there are players in their team that are good as well. So we can't.
But they won't be at Tottenham.
I think we're still going to win. We're still going to win. I'm 100% sure. I even predicted a 3-0 win for us because I can't see them scoring because we haven't conceded from a corner or a set piece. No, I think we have from a set piece against Villa, didn't we?
Yeah, it's just the corners we haven't.
Yeah, we haven't conceded from a corner.
And but then we haven't. Man City
we haven't faced Souček, Souček is the corner master. He always scores from corners. So we've got to be on our guard there.
Yeah, Souček does like to pop up.
He's 6'4", he's massive.
That's why you need someone like Richie who's aggressive because he can like make sure he's on him, man. Like that's what I'm saying. We need that. And obviously we've got Romero back with that other aggression, but we need those kind of players for West Ham because they definitely are a tough lot, you know.
Yeah.
Just touch on this. I saw that I think Gio made 40 out of 40 passes, 100% pass accuracy, and I've been his biggest critic because I thought he just did not give a crap about Spurs anymore, and his attitude had changed. But I think he is now playing in a system that suits him, and surprised me. I thought he was brilliant. So although I'm not 100% convinced, I think he's got to show a bit of consistency. I'm certainly more than happy to give him a chance.
Cool.
What do you think?
I was going to say quickly with Mustafa, whenever he receives the ball with his left foot, right, I always think he's going to lose it, but he nurtures the ball really well, and he's really good at passing. He's really quick at passing as well, and then he runs off the ball. He's a very intelligent player. I'll give him his dues, but he needs to run in the game in the team, doesn't he, to get his confidence up? Yeah. What about you? Shut up now. Let Colin speak.
oh no, you're good. But with Lo Celso, I've been really impressed with Lo Celso. You're right. He is one-footed. We replaced one Argentine left-footed player with another when we lost Lamela. We got Lo Celso. But no, I mean, other than that, I think that's his biggest weakness. Jose was saying there's argument as to whether he's an 8 or a 10. He's some kind of weird hybrid, him and Ndombele both, and they were both kind of brought in together and maybe to play aside each other in midfield. Clearly that hasn't worked according to plan, but I think that he's a really good player. He's going to prove to be really important for us. I think that he'll be great covering the midfield, whether it is at the 10 role if we need him there, whether it is as one of the other two kind of more holding midfielders that Postecoglou likes to play. That was the question, right? The question was about Lo Celso. Yeah, I mean, I'm really pleased. As everyone else has said, though, it's only 2 matches that he's really shown what he can do. So we'll continue to watch him closely, but. For the sake of Spurs and where we are on the table and where we finish this season, I hope he can keep it up, and we all need to get behind him.
Yeah. What do you think, Jose?
On Lo Celso, like I said already, I said many a time, he's been bought by an attacking manager who played front foot football. Didn't get to play under him because the manager was relieved of his duties. Then we had. The way that I described it earlier, we had 3 managers in Mourinho and Nuno Espirito Santo and Conte, and it all went pear-shaped. And then all of a sudden, Ange came, and all of a sudden, we started playing football again. And, so that's the difference. The difference is we kept getting told he does well for Argentina. He's been doing well for Villarreal. He's knocking down trees there. He got them to the Champions League semi-final nearly single-handedly. Messi says he's the greatest link-up player that he's got Argentina. And Argentina, when he didn't go to the World Cup, that it's going to be a big loss and stuff like that. So we're hearing all these stories. Again, the narrators are telling us all this, and a lot of people are just following what's being said and saying, he's much maligned. People hated him because of X, Y, and Z. Get out of our club, you stink in the club out, stuff like that. Anyway, he's been given an opportunity. He's injury-free. Got given the opportunity by Ange, and he's showing what we get to hear the stories about what he did elsewhere. He's now showed in 2 games for us. When he comes on at the end of a match for 5 minutes, when our players are knackered and we're not playing front foot football because we're absolutely shagged and knackered, he comes on for 5 minutes and people say, well, he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. Well, that's because everyone else in the team's knackered as well. How can you, if people ain't linking up the play and playing with him because they're knackered and they can't get the ball with him, then he ain't going to show up much. But for the last 2 games, he's been a starter in both games. Yeah, he's been substituted in both games, but he's played. He scored in both games. He's actually, he's tackled back. He's created chances. And as you said, Ellie, with that left foot, he's got such a cultured left foot. The ball is like glue to his left foot. It doesn't leave. You don't see the ball too far in front. It's on it. The ball's beside his foot all the time. And at the end of the day, Ellie, and I agree with you, Kate, as well, that there's two games. He's done well in his 2 games, but we want to see a bigger segment, right? And he's got the chance to have that bigger segment now because of the injuries we've got. And because of what's coming up in January with the AFCONs and stuff like that. So he's going to have more of a chance to show us. But what we need to do is forget following narrators around and what they're saying to us. And let's have our own thoughts about this and let's get behind the boys and get behind the team. He's obviously doing it. Let's get behind them.
100%. Well said.
Yep.
Very well said.
Oh, Lo Celso.
Elly
Lo
and
Celso.
Mia, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah. Oh, Lo Celso. Oh, Lo Celso. No worries.
Do you know what else? You know what else I actually love about Lo Celso is that feisty South American attitude as well. Because when he gets a fire in his belly, boy, does he get a fire in his belly. And watching him shoulder barge a 6'3" guy, or however tall Haaland the robot is, and Lo Celso so little in comparison, and he gave 0 Fs, man. He the thing is, Haaland was walking off, and it was Lo Celso shouting to him, telling him probably he's got a rubbish haircut and he needs to go down to the barbers, mate. Go down to the barbers. You look silly. That's what he's telling him. So he was having it with him, man.
He said to him, "I've got my scissors in my back pocket.
Yeah,
I'll give you a little slip, and I'll take you a slip."
I absolutely love that, and it's a bit like Porro as well. When Porro did that when he fell over and he got the crowd riled up because he was like, yeah, he fell over, and then like he was just a bit play acting with it and that. I just love all that, and I do love that Lo Celso has when he's got that fire in his belly. I just love it. I really do.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, Mia, what you've got to remember is Gio is your man's best mate.
Yeah. Oh, did you see their picture? Did you see their picture? Their children together watching the match.
Yes.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Oh, it's so cute. His little Romero's son. I think because I think Gio's got a little girl. If I'm not correct.
Christmas card.
And it's like he's got his arm around her watching the match. It's so adorable.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I definitely need to see a bit more of him. I want to see more of Lo Celso to prove that he's got that.
You want to see more of Romero.
I mean, I could see a lot more of Romero. Let's be honest.
A whole lot of him. A whole lot of him.
Absolutely.
That's what we're saying, Rodney. That's what we're saying.
Our team spirit is fantastic. Right, from Sonny talking to Basuma after the game to Gio wanting to nut flipping Haaland. Oh God, get lost. Go and get a haircut.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all grouped together. Like even that Palace game after the game when Bentancur came on, and they were all praising Bentancur. Yeah, it's so good to see. And that's Postecoglou's effect. It is. Like he's made them feel like a family, and they want to play for one another, which is brilliant. Yeah, come on, bring on West Ham now. We're going to batter them.
Oh, we're gonna smash West Ham. I'm just glad I don't have to see Mark Noble's face anymore. I was tired of that guy.
Yeah. Sorry face.
The last subject of the evening is the Spurs versus West Ham score prediction. So, Ellie, I'll start with you.
Yeah, well, I said 3-0 and I'm sticking by it. We're going to stick it to those spammers. Listen, right? It's not going to be an easy game, but I think we're going to win 3-0 because we've got more up top than them and we've got more intelligence in our play, right? And our style of football is better than theirs. So we're just better and we're going to win 3-0. So there you go.
There you go.
I love it.
What's your prediction, Colin?
So I said on the show earlier, 3-1 Spurs. I'm going to stick with that. I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet. I think Bowen scores, but then I think we get a goal from Son, a goal from Lo Celso, and a goal from Romero.
Oh,
Romero.
Get one in there.
Interesting. Jose, what's your prediction for Tottenham West Ham?
I've gone one less than Adrian. I've gone 4-0 to Tottenham. I honestly believe that when you're setting up against each other, looking at both the 11s and looking at the way that they set up and the way that we set up, if we start like we did against Villa, that's all we got to do. Start like we did against Villa. We're at home. We will rip them to shreds because defensively, West Ham, to me, can be got at. Therefore, defenders, I believe that they can be got at. And then, so if we can do that nice and early, if we can have the first half that we had against Villa and the second half we had against Man City, 4-0.
Okay.
Come on, have Luton equalised yet? Have Luton equalised? Come on, Luton.
No,
They've just taken a corner.
Come
No.
on.
she's the only
And,
one. Kate's the only one that predicted 1-0 in our league anyway. So
David
Go on.
O is completely spot on. It's true. Probably
Yeah.
does do that. Yes, they've just equalised.
Yes, come
Shut
on.
They just had a
Come
corner.
on.
You're joking.
No, I'm not joking. I swear, I'm watching it.
Kate, why are you cheering? You had it as 1-0.
No, not. It's Luton, isn't it, that have equalised?
Who's
Yeah.
equalising here?
Luton.
Luton.
Luton Town.
Well, there's only two of us that have gone for a Luton victory.
But listen, guys, don't get too hyped because we're going to probably people are going to watch this and be like, "Huh, we actually won." So yeah,
There's a long way to go, yeah.
still a while to go yet, guys.
Colin, can I just ask Colin? Colin,
What their goalkeeper absolutely flapped it, mate. Flapped it. We wanted him. We've got fit, mate. Raya had it in his hands, and the player got to it first and got it in. He basically had it sort of in his hands and he knocked it at them.
Jose, what was your question, Tim?
I'm going to say to you, is West Ham not your favourite team?
I hate West Ham more than anybody bar Arsenal.
Well, if that's the case, Cole, what's your prediction again?
Spurs 3, West Ham 1.
Well, you don't hate them much if you're saying 3-1 now, do you? I've gone 4-0. Jim's gone 5-0.
Well, I hate them, but they're putting together a decent squad.
Well, my prediction is 2-0 to Spurs because
get in there.
I think West Ham can hurt. Like they've got players to hurt us. Don't think they'll score. I think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I think it'll be tighter than the 4s and 5-0s. Oh, I got my prediction right. Wolves 1, Burnley 0.
Correct.
3
you're the only
points
one.
to me, Ellie. Yeah. 3 points to me.
You've got to watch out for Ellie because she does different scores for different people. So then she's in different I'm watching you, Ellie. I know what you're up to.
Yeah.
And Mia, what is your prediction for Spurs West Ham?
I think it'll be 3-1 as well. Actually, that's what I predicted earlier. I've got a preview. So if you haven't watched that, guys, go please after this and watch it.
We beat the Scum 3-1. We beat the Scum 3-1.
I think we're gonna. I think that we've because we've got Romero and Davis not or whoever, if he does put Royale there, it's not our best centre backs. I think we will concede one, but I think we'll have too much for them on the day, and I think we will dominate. It's about breaking them down, which we struggle to do sometimes with teams. So that's my only concern. But if they're all firing and confident, I don't see why we can't score 3 goals.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's predicted us to win, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's always a bonus.
I
did star a couple of comments. I don't know why. Oh, that. Done that one. Done that one. This was just about.
Okay.
The referee with the Man City and blowing up, which was a terrible decision.
You know why he blew up, though, Kate? Do you know why he blew up, the referee?
For the foul, wasn't it?
No. He played the ball through, right, and they played it through to Grealish, right? But the reasoning why he blew up is because they thought the Tottenham defenders were going to get there, right, and it would have had no advantage to Grealish. That's why he blew up. Because he thought the Tottenham players were going to get to the ball before Grealish. Because you had both of them coming either side of Grealish.
They stopped.
Yeah,
the Tottenham players stopped running anyway.
Yeah, they both either side of Grealish, and the referee thought they'd gain no advantage, and that the Tottenham players would have got to the ball and no advantage. That's why he pulled the. When
was that released? Because I watched Ref Watch this morning. They never said anything like that. So I just wondered when that was.
Oh, what did they say on Ref Watch? What did they say?
Said it was a terrible decision. Dermot Gallagher said it was a terrible decision.
Because but the thing is, we don't know for sure that because our players stopped because of this, we don't know if the players would have got there. That's the thing. It's not a full conclusion.
They reckon that Davis was already nearly besides him, and the player that was coming, he's not, and the player that was coming this side was closing down quickly as well, and was like a yard behind him. And he still had 35 yards to goal. He was 10 yards outside our box comfortably when the play got stopped. So would he have got into the penalty area? I don't think so. But,
I don't think we'd have caught him. I'm not going to lie, but I'm still not saying that he would have definitely scored because he'd have had to get past Big Vic. And by the time he turned, a player might have come in. I don't know. But what annoys me is the way the commentators were just assuming that he would have 100% scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always annoying. And that's a typical thing, though, as a Spurs fan, you know?
Yeah.
He would have had to beat Vic as well. Vicario's fantastic as well at coming out and saving.
Right.
So,
I didn't think, that's a
It's
good
funny
point as well,
because
Ellie.
you would think that these people who are commentating actually played football, wouldn't you? And understand that.
Yeah, you know, they're
actually
supposed to be
happened.
footballers. Come on.
Funny
Well,
that.
they got to sell a narrative instead of telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember, who was it? What manager was it? There was a manager, I can't remember who it was, but he was saying the reason why they're in the studio and I'm managing it is because I'm a manager and they're just a football pundit. I think it was Jurgen Klopp. I think he said that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he goes, they're not managers, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Gary Neville tried it and he weren't very good at it. So
No, he got the sack from Valencia very quickly, didn't he?
That was
Very,
funny.
very
Yeah,
quick.
he did not do a good job.
No.
To be fair, Ash, Jim said the same thing. He said no one's going to Kenilworth Road and getting an easy game. At the end of the day, it's a very small pit. It's very intimidating there. There's lots of different reasons. Luton aren't terrible. I mean, they put up a good fight against us. So
Oh,
They had some very good chances against us.
I found that against Luton, their front three, because they play with a front three, their front three were lightning quick. And they caused us problems the whole game. And that was the same with them playing as well. They were very, very quick, their front three. Really, really speedy quick. And we won that 1-0. And I remember coming away from that game and saying, Luton will give people problems here because their players are that quick.
And we had 10 men as well. We played with 10, so that was even harder for us.
Yeah. But their forward three are very, very quick. The quickest three that we've faced so far this season for me.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
How about that?
Yeah.
So anyway, right, that's the end of the show. We've covered all our points. Woohoo!
Whoa, nice job, everybody.
The same.
Yeah. Colin, obviously there's the link. Go everyone over and sub to Colin and Jose over at Talkable. When can we find you next, Colin?
Tomorrow, 4 p.m. We will be going again. We'll be talking a little bit about this week's results, looking towards the weekend. Or the weekend. Looking forward towards the West Ham match. Just having a generally great time, hanging out, enjoying each other's company. Everybody's invited. So 4 p.m. you guys' time, 10 a.m. my time. It'll be my pre-work show, Jose's post-work show, and everybody's invited to come hang out.
Luton have just scored.
There we go.
And
there we
Ash
go.
said it. Ash called it. She said, "Just you wait. They're gonna score the winner." That's what Ash said.
She did say that.
Ash did say that. Let's see if they're
There's
gonna win it.
there's a long way to go though, but there's only two people.
The same.
There's
we
only
beat
two.
West Ham. We're 3 points behind them.
There's only two people in our predictions that went for a home win. Only two people, and I was one of them.
Oh.
So
Well done, Jose.
Well done, my friend.
It's crazy because I actually get as much of a thrill of them losing as I do when Tottenham wins. That's how much I hate them. That is how much I hate them with all my heart. As much as I love Tottenham with all my heart.
So do you reckon, ladies, do you reckon this is a good omen that we're on this channel today and that you're the good omen, ladies, yeah? And that Luton will win the game. But if we stop the stream, will Arsenal then win?
Let's keep
We
on
have to keep going.
I actually. Oh my God, I'm scared. I don't know what to say. I'd love for Luton to win it, but I just
come on, Kate. We got to stay in there. Come on.
The women's games are they've gone into the 90th minute, and it's still 2-0 to Holland and 5-0 to England. If it stays as it is, England qualify.
Come on.
But they're in the 90th minute.
Come on, England.
3 points behind the Woolwich. What were they called? Dial Square, Square Dial they were called, or Dial Square, because they're a bunch of squares.
And Ross Barkley got the third goal. Okay.
Wow.
Come on.
When are you on? Excuse me, I think I'm losing my voice. Jim will be pleased. Are we finding you back at the same time as Colin, Jose, or are you doing your own thing anywhere?
No, we're dual streaming at the moment.
England scored 6-0.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then England are practically through unless Holland can rip 2 goals quickly. Yeah, we'll be on at 4 o'clock. We're normally on at 4 o'clock weekdays. We took a break during the international window because grown-up stuff had to take precedence for Colin. So Colin's going to have some big news come next Friday, which is brilliant to hear. And
oh my God, Colin, you're not pregnant, are you?
I am. I'm about 2 weeks. I'm not married. I don't want anyone to judge me.
Bad news.
Friel.
Boo!
Maybe
Luton will score again. Don't worry.
Maybe we're bad luck. Maybe we're bad luck. Maybe we need to end the show.
Just as we had a Friel, they want to go get a Friel. Come on, Luton, you've got.
Yeah, so we go 4 o'clock during the weekdays. And yeah, I'm dual streaming at the moment with Colin. Sorry, I'm on Colin's, but we're dual streaming with my channel, Eltel Cockerell. Yeah, trying to get the numbers up for both channels either side. A bit like you ladies are doing. But we're not as professional as you ladies. We run. Yeah, you three are professional. We just run it on the fly. Elly will tell you, so will Mia. Anyway, Kate, you know that we run it on the fly as it is.
We really do. The less planning, the better. You don't think, just play.
4 o'clock weekdays, and you know, at the end of the day, once we get to know people and that, we love having people on. We invite people on. We love having people on. And it makes a show because it's our guests in the chat that make the show. So yeah, we're all for it.
Come on, guys! Everyone, go over and smash the likes to subscribe to Talk and Bowl.
The only flying I want to see is another ball flying into Arsenal's net.
Come on!
Win. Trust me, Luton are going to win, man.
3-3, man.
Luton will win. Luton have got goals in them. Luton will win.
Come on,
Mia. When can we find you next? I know, but I'm asking anyway.
I will be on tomorrow doing my members show. So if you are a member, you are able to come on and have your say. I will be talking a bit about the City game and also about the West Ham game with people, as I like to get everybody's point of view. So yeah, come on over and have your say if you're a member. If not, you can watch, get in questions for the people who are on the screen. Yeah, it's good fun actually. And then we're back doing the match reactions as well, straight after the game on Thursday. So you'll be seeing plenty of us.
Yes, we're like a bad smell. We're everywhere.
Elly, Holland have gone 3-0.
Oh, so it's still 6. We're still 3 difference.
If they score one more goal, Holland.
I know.
Wow.
But we have to get another one then.
England making it hard for themselves as per usual.
Oh, England's finished.
Yeah.
Oh no. How long left for the Holland game?
They're on 90+2 at the moment.
They better not score. Oh no, they've scored. Somebody's put 4-0 to Holland.
No way.
Ronnie's put it.
Really?
Oh my God, this is a night of drama. There's a night of drama watching the football.
If it's 4-0, I think England are out.
Oh, don't say that.
Man. Come on, get them back on the pitch to score another goal. It ain't ended.
Ronnie, you're taking us the bad
Just to say, Holland have only had 30 shots. And 14 are on target.
Oh no.
Right. Well,
Elly, when can we find you next?
Right. Yeah. On Thursday, I'm on Cockle-Doodle-Doodle's advent calendar with Brian Daigle and Ben.
Yeah, it is 4-0.
I'm looking forward to that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sugar. It's still showing in 90+5 with 3-0. It's still showing on BBC.
It's 97 minutes. It's 4-0.
Oh well.
And then Thursday night, you're live from the Spurs Stadium with us, right?
Thursday night, live from the Spurs Stadium for an instant match reaction with the ladies, with Mia and Kate. And Friday, I'm with you again, aren't I, Kate?
Yes, Friday, our Premier League preview
Friday.
show. At 1 o'clock. Yeah.
And then wherever it takes me after that, I don't know.
We will be on again after the follow. Is it Newcastle? We've got after that. We'll be doing a match.
Yeah, we've got Newcastle at home. I'll
be
be going to that match as well.
You guys are more than welcome to join us tomorrow at 4 o'clock if you wish.
Yeah, anybody's welcome for sure. All of you guys for sure.
Yeah,
Holland's finished.
Yeah, that means England are out.
I think so. Yeah, I'll have to look after the show, but I think it does. Yeah.
3 clear goals. That's only 2 clear, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're out. I think so.
I am back tomorrow at 1 o'clock for Wedded Bliss, and I cannot tell you what we're debating because we haven't decided. We haven't even spoke about it yet, but we'll be here.
Don't let Kate think that, make people think that she gives him a choice. She doesn't. She says, we're debating this, right? Otherwise, we're going to go back down those stairs, mate.
Yeah, she sits on the arm a lot.
I just don't know what we're going to debate. My favourite one we've done was the FFP, just because I like moaning. But I don't know what we're going to debate yet. We'll have to have a think. But yeah, Wedded Bliss is back tomorrow at 1, and then after that is our instant match reaction Thursday night, which will be good fun as always. So thank you to everyone in the chat for your comments and getting involved. It's always so nice to have you all here. Massive thanks to Colin and Jose for coming in and gracing us with their presence and showering, especially for the occasion.
No, thank you very much, ladies, for having us on. It's been excellent, and keep supporting these ladies because their content is superb. Their views are superb as well, and just keep supporting these ladies. Yeah, all the way. Support the ladies.
Thank you very much. And
100%.
everyone that's in there, go and support them. Colin and Jose, because they need some more subscribers. So yeah, head on over. I shall put the link in the description as well.
Both channels.
Yeah. Both channels. I haven't got the Eltel Cockerell one. Have you got it there, Andy?
Chris Peters, can I just say, to answer your question, predictions can only be before the week game starts. So the next predictions won't be till Friday because that will be for the weekend games.
That's correct.
Get that L.
I'm just putting it in.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find it because I know Tequila's putting it in.
Yeah, and 1, 2.
That
right? So yeah, make sure you go. Oh, there it is. Make sure you go over and sub to both Talk and Ball, Eltel Cockerell. If you're on my channel, go over and sub to Spurs Between the Lions. And if you're on Mia's, make sure you go over and sub to Just Girl Love Spurs. Any final thoughts, ladies, before we close the show off?
Yeah, come on, Luton.
Any final thoughts, Mia?
No, none from me, apart from come on, you Spurs.
Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Join us again for our match reaction, the 3 of us. Oh my God, it's not tomorrow, is it? Thursday night at 10. And yeah, we will see you soon. Thanks again, Colin and Jose, and have a good night, everyone.
Thank you for having us. Come on, you Spurs.